Is a proud supporter of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama Power, power for a better Alabama. Here is the starting lineup for the visiting Oklahoma Sooners. They are number 2 in the country. They're 36-4 overall, 10-4 in SEC play. They're 15-2 in true road games on the year after yesterday's 6-1 Alabama victory. Leading things off is the right fielder, Cassidy Pickering. Gabby Garcia, the shortstop, will bat second. Ella Parker, designated player, batting third. Nellie McEnroe-Morenas, third baseman, batting fourth. Batting fifth is Sydney Barker, the first baseman. Alana Agbayani, second base, batting sixth. Batting seventh is Abigail Dayton, the left fielder. Catching, batting eighth is Corey Hicks, and the center fielder, Hannah Core, will bat ninth. They'll face in the circle for Alabama, the right-handed senior from Dandridge, Tennessee, the transfer from Ole Miss, Caitlin Riley. Riley on the year with a 2.35 ERA, a 9-1 record, 26th appearance and 16th start. She has one complete game. She's pitched 83 in the third innings, 87 hits, 40 runs, 28 earned. She's walked 27, struck out 50. Opponents batting .269 against Riley on the year. That concludes the Alabama Softball pregame report presented by the Alabama Department of Public Health. First pitch is next here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
You back?
We are ready for Monday Night Softball here in Tuscaloosa. The Rhodes House filling up, and we're set for the rubber match between Alabama and Oklahoma, game number 3 of this 3-game series. Before we get started, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Caitlin Riley wrapping up her pregame warm-up tosses, and it's going to be another really fun atmosphere here for game number 3, Gray.
Well, and it's going to be really interesting to see if the moves that Patty Gasso made work tonight. You know, you read that starting lineup, not mentioned Sydney Sanders, Maya Bland, Isabella Emmerling. Those are people who have, besides Bland, started pretty regularly. That's just the third time Sanders and Emmerling have not started. So it's kind of eerily similar to Game 3 of Supers in Tennessee last year, where Karen Weekly was so frustrated by that second game, said we're going to just try everything again.
Yeah.
We'll see if that works for Oklahoma. I certainly hope it doesn't. And if you're Caitlin Riley, this is where it all starts. Cassidy Pickering leading off. This is the dangerous bat, and it's the bat that on a weekend where OU's offense has been kind of just fine, she's been the most consistent.
Pickering steps in, batting .447, 46 and 103 with 40 runs scored, 9 doubles, a triple, 12 homers, 42 runs driven in. And Caitlin Riley will ask for time and reset. Now we're ready to go. And here comes the first pitch to the lefty, Pickering. High for ball 1.
Pickering on the series 3 for 7 with an RBI and a double.
The 1-0. Off the end of the bat, and that's a short. Hawkins charging, will throw on the run, and it's not caught by Dukeshire. And heading to second is Pickering. And just the second error of the series for Alabama puts the runner on second to start things off for the Sooners.
Well, Hawkins made a similar play in the first inning yesterday, but this time the throw, well, no, Duke should have caught that. That was actually right on the money, and it just got right through the glove. That's the thing that Alabama's avoided through the first 2 games, but Sooners take advantage.
Well, that's an infield hit and an error to bring up Gabby Garcia, and the first pitch is low for ball 1. The defensive alignment for Alabama, Vandergriff in left, White in center, Johnson in right, Ellisett at third, Hawkins at short, Hevlin at second, Dukeshire at first, with Valentine behind the plate catching Riley, and Papillo, the DP. The 1-0. It's a little bit low, 2 balls and no strikes on Garcia, who's batting an even 400. 44 of 110, 37 runs scored with 9 doubles, a triple, 11 homers, and 36 runs driven in.
0 for 6 with a run here in this series.
2-0. Hard hit to second. Hevlin makes the stop in the throw to get the runner at first. Pickering does move to third, and there's one away.
Well, I figured that Gabby Garcia was up in the 2 spot tonight because of the small ball capabilities that she's shown. This isn't small ball, but it moves the runner, and now you got somebody who, with a small swing, could get it to the outfield.
First pitch to Ella Parker is off speed, and it drops in for a called strike. Parker batting .375, 39 of 104, 34 runs scored, 13 doubles, 6 homers, and 34 runs driven in. The 0-1 swung on and missed, and one in the dirt. Might actually got a piece of it, 0-2.
Yeah, Parker, another one, 0 for 6 here in the series. And that's kind of the scary thing about some of these really good hitters for OU. When they're 0 for, it just feels like they're due. So you got to continue to be at your best if you're Caitlin Riley.
The 0-2 pitch. Misses a touch inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Umpires for today's ball game, Scott Mayer is behind home plate with Chelsea Clark at first and Tatum Stolting, third base umpire. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Riley comes back to get the strikeout of Parker, and there's 2 away now with a runner on third.
That's really huge, an unproductive out. Riley going with that drop ball. It's just elevated, falls right below the bat. Really good job by Caitlin Riley, but not out of it yet. You need 1 more out to get that clean first we asked for.
Nellie McEnroe-Marinas is the batter, right-handed hitting. The first pitch, low and away for ball 1. McEnroe-Marinas batting .368, 46 of 125, 45 runs scored, 12 doubles, a triple, 10 homers, 39 runs driven in.
0 for 6 with an RBI this weekend.
1-0. One hopper back to Riley, who makes a nice stop, and the throw to first to get the out. And despite Pickering reaching third with 1 out, Oklahoma does not score here in the first.
Well, one of the trends we've seen in the last few games is Alabama doing to opponents what opponents have done to Alabama. That's a perfect example right there. Runner on third, 1 out, get the strikeout unproductive, and then a hard hit ball by McEnroe-Marinas. But more good PFP from Caitlin Riley. She's shown a lot of athleticism in the circle this series.
For the Sooners, no runs on a hit. There was 1 error and 1 runner left. We played a half inning. Oklahoma nothing. Alabama coming to bat here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Middlefield. Bottom of the first inning, no score between Alabama and Oklahoma. And here is the Alabama Power starting lineup for the 22nd ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. They're 29-16 overall, 6-8 in conference play, 18-7 here at the Rhodes House. The starting lineup looks like this. Audrey Vandergriff, left fielder, batting first. Batting second is Callie Hevlin, the second baseman. Third baseman Brooke Ellisett bats third. First baseman Abby Dukeshire will bat fourth. Batting fifth and catching Riley Valentine. Designated player Alexa Pillow will bat sixth. Batting seventh is Lauren Johnson, the right fielder. Salyn Hawkins, shortstop, batting eighth, and Kristen White, the center fielder, will bat ninth. Here comes the first pitch to Vandergriff. It's outside for ball 1. In the circle for Oklahoma, the right-handed senior from Mount Bellevue, Texas, the transfer from Louisiana, Sam Landry. Landry got the start and got the complete game victory in game 1. 1-0, Vandergriff off of Landry's glove to second. The throw is not going to be in time to get Vandergriff, and she beats it out. To start things off, Agbayani charged in from second, made a nice play off the ricochet, but Vandegrift for that speed, one of maybe 3 people in America that would be on first base after that play, but there she is.
I mean, the athleticism of Agbayani to change direction and make this competitive is impressive, but more impressive, the speed of Vandegrift and Corey Hicks behind the dish. No base runners stolen or thrown out this year.
Vandegrift takes off. The first pitch, the throw cut off from going into the outfield, but Vandegrift is on with the stolen base. The first pitch was a ball to Callie Hevlin.
And so now base stealers 3 for 3 this year against Hicks, and Vandegrift 46 of 52 in swipes this season.
Still leading the nation in stolen bases. 1-0 count now on Callie Hevlin as Alabama's threatening here in the home half of the first. 1-0. Off speed outside, 2 balls and no strikes. The line for Sam Landry, 1.75 ERA, 13-2 is her record, 21st appearance, 14th start. She has 9 complete games. She's pitched 96 innings, 65 hits, 28 runs, 24 earned. She's walked 17, struck out 109. Opponent's batting 187 against Landry on the year, and that pitch hits the outside corner, 2-1.
And here's the scout, but it's changed a little bit. Mid to high 60s, that's still true. But again, we saw mostly change and rise in game 1. The drop balls are bread and butter, but that changeup has been a difference maker and her most reliable pitch here this weekend.
The 2-1 is outside, 3-1 on Hevlin, who's batting 376, 44 of 117, 27 runs scored with 5 doubles, 3 triples, leads the team with 12 homers, 34 runs driven in.
Had that 12th homer yesterday, 3 for 6 with that RBI and a double as well here this weekend.
The 3-1 is a called strike. Hevlin threw the bat and had taken 3 or 4 steps down toward first, thinking she had drawn the walk.
Let's see the pitch. Screwball from Landry. Oh, my.
Yeah, it looked low all the way.
Low and inside.
Yeah. Now the payoff pitch to Hevlin. She lines this to right, and that's going to be caught by Pickering. And Hevlin put a charge into that one, but a line drive right at the right fielder, and there's one gone.
Well, it's the charge that unfortunately makes that play unproductive because Vandegrift was off of second base. We've seen her tag up on pop flies to second.
Sure.
But this was hit so hard at Pickering, Vandegrift didn't have time to get back and try and tag up.
Brooke Elistad now the batter, 1 out, runner on second. Bama trying to strike first here in the home half of the first inning. The defensive alignment for the Sooners, Dayton in left, Core in center, Pickering in right, McEnroe Marinas at third, Garcia at short, Agbayani at second, Barker at first with Hicks behind the plate catching Landry, Parker the DP. First pitch to Brooke Elistad is a called strike. Brooke batting 325, 39 of 120, 15 runs scored with 5 doubles, 2 triples, 7 homers, 37 runs driven in.
0 for 4 with an RBI this weekend. Wouldn't be mad if she wanted to try the little sneaky drag bunt down the first base line.
The 0-1 chop foul, no balls and 2 strikes. The first inning is presented by the Alabama Department of Public Health. Crimson Tide fans are reminded to stay up to date with all recommended vaccinations.
So the bunt is off.
Probably,
0-2.
probably so.
Would be quite brave. But you know what? Alabama's got to be brave tonight. I'm not saying bunt here, but Alabama's got to take risks.
The 0-2, Elistad pops this one up in foul ground. It will get out of play. Back behind the Alabama dugout. No balls and 2 strikes. .81 degrees at first pitch. Still haven't seen a cloud in like 4 days, which is great.
There's like a wisp over there, and that's about it.
Breeze blowing out. Just another gorgeous day here in Tuscaloosa. Another 0-2 pitch is high into the backstop, and it sticks there. So Vandegrift will take third on the wild pitch.
Well, the importance of laying off the rise. That one just got away from Landry. And I'll tell you what, this is quite the test for Corey Hicks behind the dish already. Just her 3rd career start, and a big chance for Alabama with a runner at third.
The 1-2. Elistad with a chopper back to Landry. He'll look the runner back and throw to first, and the tag is applied by Barker, who was off the bag but was able to make the swipe tag on Elistad as she went by for the 2nd out of the inning.
That almost got really wonky. Sam Landry was all turned around. Good awareness by Barker at first base to make the tag. And if you're Elistad, you know, if you have another split second to think, you're probably trying to slide there. Honestly, that might be your best shot to get safe at first. But the throw came at kind of, I bet, the last possible time where Brook could have tried to slide and get in there safely.
So with 2 outs and a runner on third, Abby Dukeshire, the Bama first baseman, will be the batter. Right-handed hitting. And the first pitch from Landry is a called strike. Dukeshire batting .314, 33 of 105, 23 runs scored, 6 doubles, 7 homers, and 21 runs driven in.
1 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a homer and a run here this weekend. And make sure she doesn't chase that rise from Landry. That's what fooled her in game 1.
The 0-1 is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, runner on third. Alabama trying to score first here in the bottom of the first inning.
Identical scenario as the top of the first for the Oklahoma offense. They did not come through. Can Alabama?
1-1, Dukeshire way out in front. Ball and 2 strikes.
That's a take a walk swing.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's not what I thought that was.
I am bamboozled. Oh, he's probably going to go right back to it.
1-2, and Dukeshire chases. Off speed outside for strike 3, and Alabama, as Oklahoma did, strands a runner on third here in the first inning.
Yeah, unfortunate because you had a real shot there. Man, I mean, just a bummer. But we're off and running. Like I said, the first inning was going to tell me a lot. Alabama didn't let OU score. Alabama got to Sam Landry a little bit there. This is going to be a battle. Monday Night Softball always is. Let's rock and roll.
For the Tide in the first inning, no runs on hit, no errors, and 1 left. We played an inning. No score between Oklahoma and Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The second inning is presented by the Bryant Museum, located on the UA campus just across from Coleman Coliseum, open every day 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., except Mondays. Access online at bryantmuseum.com. We head to the second inning, 0-0, Alabama and Oklahoma. Due up for the Sooners here in the second, Barker, Agbayani, and Dayton. 5, 6, 7. Caitlin Riley back out for another inning of work for the Crimson Tide. Alabama leads the all-time series 11-9 over Oklahoma after yesterday's 6-1 Bama win. This is the first ever regular season visit by Oklahoma to the Rhodes House. Sydney Barker steps in the first pitch. Right in there for a called strike. Barker batting .333, 15 of 45, 13 runs scored with a double, 2 triples, 6 homers, and 27 runs driven in.
Has been average-wise the best hitter this weekend, 2 for 3 with an RBI and a homer.
The 0-1, little outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Had the home run with 2 outs in the 7th inning yesterday to preserve the Oklahoma hasn't been shut out since 2019 streak. The 1-1, off speed, beautiful pitch, called strike, 1-2.
So still Montana resides in the record books. Where does that rank in the things Montana did?
It's pretty up there.
Yeah, it's got to be top 3.
The 1-2 is inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
World Series perfect game. Lead Alabama to OKC on a torn ACL.
Right.
Shut out Oklahoma.
In the semifinals of the World Series. 2-2. Barker with a fly ball to the left. Vandegrift will settle underneath it. She'll make the catch for out number 1.
Boy, Caitlin Riley got away with one a little bit there. That was an elevated changeup, maybe a little too elevated, but Barker was not on time. She was on plane, but not on time. Easy catch for Vandegrift out there and left.
This one out now for Elena Agbayani. Left-hander hitting second baseman. First pitch. Called strike. Agbayani batting .314, 32 of 102, 25 runs scored, 6 doubles, a triple, a homer, and 23 runs driven in.
Give you your series numbers after this pitch.
The 0-1 is low, 1-1.
1 for 5 with an RBI, a double, and a run scored.
The 1-1. Agbayani with a fly ball to left. Moving back, making the catch is Vandegrift. Back-to-back F7s, and there's 2 gone.
Interesting. So is Oklahoma sitting change, potentially? We talked about it a little bit yesterday, how it was hard to identify what the Sooners' plan was against Jocelyn Brisky. Little semblance of a plan here in Game 3. That was Dylan.
Yes, Abigail Dayton steps in. First pitch. Drops too low for ball 1. Dayton batting .320, 33 of 103, 40 runs scored with 4 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, and 6 RBIs on the year.
1 for 4 with a walk and a run this weekend.
Slapped and missed at that one, 1-1.
I'm not seeing the usual Sooner fire, though. I mean, if Alabama can strike first in this game, that's going to do so much.
The 1-1. Grounded to first, and that's collected by Dukeshire in fair ground. She'll step on the bag for out number 3 to retire the side in a 1-2-3 second pitch by Caitlin Riley.
Off we go. Just a really good job by Caitlin Riley, continuing to mix and continuing to battle. Really, really, really nicely done to get a clean second.
For the Sooners in the second, they go down 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the second inning, still scoreless between OU and UA here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The second inning is presented by the Bryant Museum, located on the UA campus just across from Coleman Coliseum. Open every day, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., except Mondays. Access online at bryantmuseum.com. Valentine, Papillo, and Johnson due up for the Tide here in the second. Yes, Alabama another opportunity to strike first here after OU went down 1-2-3 in the second inning. Sam Landry back out for another inning of work for the Sooners. Landry in game number 1 threw 94 pitches in the complete game.
And was really, really effective as the game went along, and it's because of that mix of speed. Somebody's going to have to make the decision about what they're going to do with that changeup, because it was working in the first inning.
First pitch to Riley Valentine is a called strike. Riley batting .217, 10 of 46 with 11 runs scored. A double, 2 homers, and 7 RBIs on the year.
A nice 1 for 2 with a walk in the series. That was all in game 2.
The 0-1, Valentine puts down a nice bunt. Landry will field it and make the throw just in time to get Riley at first. A really well-placed bunt there, but Oklahoma was able to get the out for the first out of the inning.
I love the idea. Make OU have to field. That was a big issue yesterday. Didn't look too sharp in some areas in the first inning. Just a nice job by Landry getting there quickly. Valentine very, very close, just a half step off.
Yeah, I'll bring up the designated player, Lex Papillo. The wind blowing out to right field.
Oh,
His first pitch is in there for a called strike. Just saying.
really?
Lex Papillo batting .333 on the year, 35 of 105, 21 runs scored, 5 doubles, a triple, 6 homers, and 29 runs driven in.
0 for 3 with a walk and 2 Ks. Did strike out in her pinch hit appearance against Landry in Game 1. That was a long AB, though.
The 0-1. Papillo takes it high and tight. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 under down the lines, 220 to straightaway center field, 6-foot wall all the way around in the outfield here at the Rhodes House. The 1-1 is low, 2-1. Crowd filled in very nicely.
For a Monday, this is pretty good. You know, Mondays are always hard. You got work, people who were in town, leave town. But this is pretty nice. They have some carnival ride out there in the outfield.
If you would like to throw up, it's right out there.
I'll pass, thank you.
Hard pass for me. The 2-1, Papillo fouls it away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Alabama football team doing their post-practice get-together out on the fan concourse down the right field line.
Ah, yes.
See Freddie Roach on the corner over there.
Is the DeBoer parent here?
I believe he is somewhere. Where's the DeBoer child? Where were they at this? The 2-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3, and there's 2 away.
They're getting swept by UCLA.
That's right, yeah.
Which, it's okay, Washington.
It happens.
So Landry, that's just a little drop to it. That's just a good spot. I mean, what do we talk about with pitchers? If you hit your spots, you're going to be tough, and it's a great location by Landry right there on the inner half.
So 2 out, nobody on for Lauren Johnson. Stepping in, right-handed hitting. The first pitch right in there for a called strike. Lojo batting .417, 20 of 48, 15 runs scored with 4 doubles, a triple, a homer, and 17 RBIs on the year.
1 for 5 with an RBI and 2 runs here this week.
The 0-1 came in, and that hit her. Lauren Johnson will take first on the hit by pitch. That got her the lower part of the leg or the foot.
And we'll see if she takes off. Just 1 for 1 in stolen bases this year, but man, that throw from Hicks in the first inning was so off the mark. If I'm Patrick Murphy, I'm really thinking about putting her in motion and getting that RISP opportunity with Hawkins about to step in.
Salem Hawkins now the batter with a runner on first and 2 outs. First pitch from Landry. Outside for ball 1. Hawkins batting .293. 27 of 92, 15 runs scored with 4 doubles and 9 RBIs on the season.
Just kind of doing what you want at the bottom of the order. 2 for 5 this week.
Turning that lineup over. 1-0 is a chopper to third. McEnroe Marinas. The throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, but I guess not. I thought it pulled her off the bag.
She pointed and then set out. So
right there's where her foot was.
Her foot.
Yes.
Yes, everything's fine. Okay.
I thought it pulled her off, but instead,
sure.
The out is recorded, and no argument from Caleb Rowe. So I assume she stuck that bag. So for the Crimson Tide here in the second, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left. We played 2. It's still 0-0. Alabama, Oklahoma. Here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The third inning is presented by Bojangles, the new and improved Bojangles app. Bring the flavor to your tailgate with chicken, biscuits, and fixings by downloading the Bojangles app to order ahead for tailgates and whenever it's bow time. It's not a tailgate without Bojangles. 0-0 as we head to the top of the third inning. Hicks, Core, and Pickering due up for the Sooners here in the third. 8-9-1. Caitlin Riley back out for her third inning of work. And here to take you through the third inning, I turn things over to my partner, Gray Robertson.
Thanks, Tom. Let's see what happens. Game 1, third inning went well. Game 2, third inning went well. Let's try game 3. Corey Hicks will get her second conference play at bat and hit it up in the air on the first pitch. Right side, Duke sure will not make the catch. Just couldn't find it in the wind, and it'll be an 0-1 count on the freshman Hicks, and that's not what you want. Did she trip? That was very awkward. I think she just couldn't see it. Almost. Still caught it.
Yeah.
Now the 0-1 from Caitlin Riley to Corey Hicks. Change up low, 1-1. The freshman is 4 of 15 this year, 267 average, 6 RBIs, 2 homers. On the year in conference play, 1 for 1. The 1-1 is pop foul down the right side, 1-2. That hit something loudly.
Football players know.
Coach DeBoer, hide. Wind has kind of picked up, blowing out. 1-2 from Riley. Drop misses low, 2-2.
Alabama in the all-white uniforms, the white jerseys with the crimson script Alabama across the chest, white pants, crimson socks with the crimson pinstripes.
One in that uni on Monday Night Softball against Florida. 2-2, swing and a miss. Inside drop ball from Riley. And that is strikeout number 2, and there's one away here in the third.
Second strikeout of the day by Caitlin Riley, and what we talk about a lot of times with Oklahoma, when you give them another opportunity, they come through more times than not. They got another opportunity there, but Alabama kept them from doing it.
Maybe a little bit of youth there from Hicks as well.
We'll take it.
Here is Hannah Core, FGCL, the 9-hole hitter. First pitch, in there for a strike, 0-1. 13 of 36, 8 RBIs, 3 doubles, 5 runs for Core, who missed some time earlier this year due to an injury that we actually were watching live. Good to see her back because it was a little scary. The 0-1 misses low, 1-1. And she's a player who's dealt with injuries a lot throughout her college career.
Yeah.
And also, she's a very important out with Cassidy Pickering waiting on deck. The 1-1, Core shows bunt, it rolls foul, 1-2.
Oklahoma in the all-crimson uniforms, the crimson jerseys with Oklahoma in block cream across the chest, crimson pants, and crimson socks. The complimentary uniforms once again.
It's just a good combo. 1-2 from Riley. That drop is too low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No score here in the top of the third. Nobody on, 1 out. Alabama-Oklahoma game 3. Just vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Now the 2-2 to Hannah Core. That's grounded towards third, and no, they'll say it was off of Core's foot. Be a foul ball, remains 2-2.
The fact that it went all the way to Brooke Ellisad at third off the foot, you know that one hurts.
Well, I was like, yeah, Brooks going a little lackadaisical there, trying to backhand that. It was foul. Now another 2-2 from Riley. Called strike 3. Froze Core with a pitch on the outer half, 2 down.
Against teams like Oklahoma, that's what you have to do against the bottom of the order.
Yep. Because here's Pickering. She reached on an error in the first. Attacked early in that count as well. First pitch. Now a miss outside, 1-0.
So they took the hit away, so it was all error.
Yes.
So originally it was hit and an error.
I meant to say that earlier. I forgot. I'm sorry. Bad teammate. The 1-0 to Pickering. That curls too far in, 2-0. Now the pitch from Riley. Off speed is called a ball, 3-0. And remember, Pickering's got the green light on 3-0s, so you got to be really careful here. Had that home run against Oklahoma State on a 3-0. Here's the pitch from Riley. She took and takes a strike, 3-1.
I kind of agree with Pickering on that one. That was pretty much the same strike, the same pitch that was just thrown.
Yeah.
She thought she'd drawn the walk.
Be careful, Caitlin Riley. The 3-1 to Cassidy Pickering is in there for a strike, and Pickering thought it was ball 4. She's heading to first base after slamming the bat, and now she'll have to go back and wait for the payoff.
That's embarrassing.
That's tough.
Hate to see that.
That's unfortunate. It happened. Look, we all make mistakes. I also am not sure that's a strike, but whatever. Payoff from Riley. Swing and a miss! Caitlin Riley. Yes, ma'am. She just struck out the side against number 2 Oklahoma, and it's still 0-0 going to the bottom of the 3rd.
Well, if that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what won't.
Whew.
That was amazing.
Oh, my. Do you feel the chills? Boy, if you weren't ready to go now, let's go to the bottom of the 3rd and see what happens. Alabama, Oklahoma, no score. Tide coming to hit yet again when we come back here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Couldn't ask for anything better. Monday Night Softball at Rhodes, Alabama, Oklahoma. I mean, come on. No score as we go at the bottom of the 3rd. The 3rd inning is presented by Bojangles and the new and improved Bojangles app. Bring the flavor to your tailgate with chicken, biscuits, and fixings by downloading the Bojangles app to order ahead for tailgates and whenever it's bow time. Tom, when is that?
Anytime.
Now?
It's the only thing that could make it better is if we had Bojangles right here in the booth.
Amen, brother. It's not a tailgate without Bojangles. Due up for Alabama. This is a chance for a chaos inning. 9-1-2, White, Vandegrift, and Hevlin against Sam Landry. Man, what a moment that was from Caitlin Riley on a borderline pitch that she got the call on that forced Pickering, who thought she walked, to come back to get the strikeout on the 3-2. That's some just baller stuff from Caitlin Riley.
For a 0-0 game, Alabama has as much momentum as you could possibly have right here. And if Kristen White gets on to start off this inning, here we go now.
Are we telling Katie to bar the door?
It's very possible.
Katie Wyndham just walked by. She can do that.
Yes. Kristen
White will lead off the inning. First pitch from Sam Landry. In there for a strike, 0-1 on K-Dub. 366 average, 26 of 71, 20 runs scored with 5 RBIs yesterday. And overall this weekend, 1 for 4 with an RBI. Was 0 for 1 against Landry in game 1. The 0-1 pitch. Slapped at and missed. No balls and 2 strikes.
Picked up her first game-winning RBI of the year yesterday.
Oh. She had a few of those last year.
Yes. More dramatically in the 6th and 7th inning, a lot of those.
True. 0-2. That is slapped over to first. I thought that hit the bat twice. Yeah. That'll be a foul ball.
Yep.
Because that was. Why didn't Scott Mayer see that?
You know, it's the stuff that home plate umpires see and don't see. It's weird. I mean, the number of times they don't see the ball hit the foot, things like that. But that definitely.
And she was still in the box, so.
Yeah, it's a foul ball. Patty Gasso coming out to discuss it. Alabama's head coach is Patrick Murphy.
Who?
He's in his 27th season as the Alabama head coach. An Alabama head coaching record, 1,307 victories, 391 losses, a 770 winning percentage, for the national champion and Hall of Famer.
Which hall?
Everyone he's eligible for,
Okay.
he's in.
Cool. And by the way, the umpires meeting right now to discuss after Coach Gasso had some thoughts about it. Should just be a foul ball.
You would think.
Are we challenging?
Scott.
Oklahoma is challenging whether the batter got hit with the ball outside the box.
Well, this is
Okay, well, this won't take long.
this is a waste of a challenge, but
Appreciate
keep going,
it.
Tom.
Assistant coach is Kayla Bro. She was, of course, on that national championship game in national championship team in 2012 that beat Oklahoma.
Hold on, is that actually what Patty Gasso's challenging? Because she was coming out very quickly.
I mean, I think he said that it hit the batter.
Oh yeah.
And it hit the bat. Same difference. Pitching coach Lance McMahon. Hitting coach is Adam Arbor. Coordinator of player development Ryan Iamurray. Scott, you have more to say?
Let's see.
No, he doesn't.
He's secret servicing.
Sure. The director of softball operations is Jaden Spencer.
Ribs.
Athletic trainer AC Yatinka. Michelle Diltz is the strength and conditioning coach. Sports information director, SID extraordinaire Nathan Sheehan. Scott Moyer, the video director. Equipment manager is Stu Moore. And Kent Gidley, photographer of the Stars. For Oklahoma, the person who challenged this play is their head coach, Patty Gasso, in her 31st season in Norman. Alabama, or Patrick Murphy and Patty Gasso, the only two active coaches with over 1,300 wins at their current school. Associate head coach and pitching coach is Jen Rocha. Associate head coach and hitting coach, JT Gasso. And the other assistant is Valpolima Steele.
Here's the call from Scott Mayer.
After further review, it is a foul ball.
Yeah.
That's what we said.
I still, by the way, note to umpires, if you're watching on the booth camera listening, a little more explanation. You know,
Yes.
it was a foul ball, yes. Why? And also, you should probably let the crowd know that Oklahoma loses a challenge. People are still confused a little bit about the challenge system. Oklahoma now has one left for the rest of the game. Now the 0-2 from Landry to Kristen White. That is slapped right to short, and the catch is made by Garcia for the first out.
Well hit ball there on the slap by Kristen White, but it had too much up movement. Wanted it to go toward the ground. And if that one hops Garcia, you might have a chance to beat that one out.
Now back to the top of the order with Audrey Vandegrift, who singled in the first inning, but was left stranded at third. She can reach. Let the chaos reign. Landry will call time before the first pitch to the freshman Audrey Vandegrift. And now we're ready. That's on the ground towards second, and it'll get through to the outfield. Oh boy, Barker and Agbayani. Barker was thinking about going to get it. Agbayani, it was too far for her. If Sydney Sanders is playing in this game, she probably goes to get that, and then you got a race to the bag. But instead, Vandegrift's on first with one out.
Yeah, once it got past Barker, even if Agbayani gets there,
but
Vandegrift would have made it.
Agbayani hesitated a half step because she thought Barker was getting it. And now Vandegrift's on first for Callie Hevlin. Hevlin, hit and run, out to the gap and left. That'll get all the way to the wall, and Vandegrift is racing for home. The throw from short won't come. A run will for the Tide. Alabama leads it 1-0 as the Tide executes with Callie Hevlin and an RBI double here in the third.
You couldn't hit that any harder if you're Callie Hevlin without it going over the fence. That was just absolutely perfectly swung and belted out to left
field.
field.
A perfect pitch to go on hit and run as well. I mean, this is meaty over the white, and out comes Jen Rocha to have a word with Sam Landry. That's just a huge mistake. And finally, Alabama, with Vandegrift on base, is able to truly mash something and strike first, which is what we were asking for.
And able to capitalize on that momentum that you got from Caitlin Riley striking out the side in the top of the third inning.
Third inning, good this weekend.
Yeah, it's good.
Why not add more? Is OU now multiple conferences. Jen Rocha talking to the battery. Patty Gasso talking to the infield. Outfielders fending for themselves. Patrick Murphy talking with the collection of Callie Hevlin, Brooke Elistad, and Abby Dukeshire.
Gray, as you know, it gets no easier for Alabama coming up next as the Tide will travel to Gainesville to take on Florida for a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. First pitch Thursday's game 1 set for 5, 4:45 the airtime here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Oklahoma will host Mississippi State next weekend.
Yeah, including a game, I believe, on Friday at Devon Park in Oklahoma City. Should be fun. I think Alabama right now, though, this weekend is proving that they're ready for the challenge that this schedule has been and will be. Hevlin's on second, 1-0 Tide, 1 out in the bottom of the third. Brooke Elistad steps in. First pitch fouled off by Brooke, who grounded out in the first inning.
I would definitely say as we're in game 6 of this gauntlet of nine conference games, outside of game number 1 against LSU, Alabama's played their best against the best teams they've played this year.
They've competed 100%. Looking to add a little more in this inning. The 0-1 to Elistad. Her former Louisiana teammate throws it low, 1-1. And Scott Mayer's mic was on, so everyone just heard him call ball.
He looked down and said, why was that so loud?
Why didn't we hear it earlier? It was a foul ball. Didn't need to say anything. The 1-1. Ooh, Elistad out in front of the changeup, 1-2.
There's been a couple of pitches like that Landry has really fooled Bama batters on, but I don't think she's been quite as sharp as she was in game 1.
She's ahead 1-2. Here's the pitch to Elistad. Swing and a miss. That changeup, man. It's been the get out of jail free card for Landry, and there's 2 down here in the bottom of the third.
But she's been able to put together those really good pitches in the same at bat.
Yep.
Abby Dukeshire had the one, her first at bat, and Elistad just there.
Duke struck out in the first. She'll show slap and pull it back. Now the first pitch from Landry. Screwball called strike on the inner half, 0-1. Duke again shows slap and will pull it back. Landry went back to the screw, missed inside, 1-1.
Dukeshire doing that show slap just to try to get the timing right, which was the reason she struck out in the first at bat.
I like it. Do something different. She'll do it again. Pull back. 1-1. Misses. 2-1. Rinse and repeat. Dukeshire will pull back the bat and get ready. She waited on the change and fouled it off, 2-2.
Closer to on time there.
Now you got to be careful about one of those in the same spot, low and away or in the dirt. Duke will pull it back. 2-2 from Landry. Popped up on the left side. It's heading towards Murph, and instead it's caught by McEnroe Marinas around Patrick Murphy, who really had nowhere to go for out number 3. But, Tom, the third inning, good stuff. Callie Hevlin gives Alabama the 1-0 lead with that RBI double.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there by Callie. Good job getting on base by Audrey Vandegrift. And now back to Caitlin Riley, see what she can do against this OU offense in the 4th inning.
Cannot let the Sooners respond. We'll see if Caitlin Riley can keep it going. When we come back, Alabama 1, Oklahoma 0 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. fourth inning is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. As we go to the fourth, Alabama leading Oklahoma in Game 3, the rubber match 1-0. Due up for the Sooners here in the top of the fourth, it's Garcia, Parker, McEnroe, Marinas, 2-3-4 against Caitlin Riley. And Tom, what Alabama's done really well all weekend, even in the loss, was not let the Sooners respond. OU 0 for 5 this weekend in the response stat that we always track. Dangerous part of the order, but if you can get an anti-response here, then you're really singing.
Yeah, so once again, an opportunity to grab even more momentum. You got the one run, you got the lead here in the bottom of the third, and if you can keep Oklahoma from doing anything in the fourth, you feel really good about the rest of the ball game.
Patrick Murphy currently doing the TV interview with our friends Amanda Scarborough and Matt Schumacher.
Be interesting to go back and hear some of the mic'd up moments from Patrick Murphy here in this game.
This is the one game where, to our radio audience, I'm like, I'm cool if you also want to watch it at the same time, because I also want to hear what Murph is saying. Whatever he's saying right now, it's probably a pretty lengthy answer. He pointed to Caitlin Riley, so I think it's about the way she's pitched. And Tom, again, just kind of mixing everything and really showed some guts in the top of the third.
Yeah, to come back and strike out the side and the way the Pickering at bat went when she threw down the bat thinking she had drawn the walk, and to come right back and get that strikeout, just an all-time moment if you're able to capitalize on it.
I earned my check.
Good job.
I'm going to pass it back to you, Tom, with Alabama leading 1-0.
Thanks so much, Gray. Caitlin Riley about to throw her 40th pitch of the ball game. She's gone 3 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. 39 pitches and 23 strikes through 3 innings. Gabby Garcia to lead things off in the first pitch. A little outside for ball 1. Garcia grounded out her first time. The 1-0. Called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now on Garcia, the freshman from Chandler, Arizona.
Told the story about her javelin skills in game 1.
The 1-1. A little bit low, 2-1. That's a ground ball to first. Nice play on the backhanded snag by Dukeshire. And there's one gone.
Yeah, this is almost identical, actually, to the Vandergriff hit in the bottom of the third, but this time Dukeshire a little bit more aggressive, also was positioned a little better, able to snare that and make the play.
I'll bring up Ella Parker, 0 for 1 with a strikeout, and she grounds it back to Riley, who fumbled it to start off with, but corralled it, made the throw, and quickly there's 2 gone.
Ella Parker is quite tall, kind of a looming presence in the box, sneakily very fast, and so my heart kind of went into my throat a little bit, but great recovery by Caitlin Riley right there to make the play and not do too much. Again, hurried, didn't rush. Alabama's done a really good job of that here this weekend.
So now 2 out, nobody on as Patty Gasso calls timeout to talk with Nellie McEnroe-Marinas before her at bat. McEnroe-Marinas is 0 for 1 with a ground out. Coming up tomorrow here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, Alabama baseball, the Tide hosting UAB. 6 o'clock the first pitch, 5:45 the airtime here on the network.
Boy, just jam-packed week.
Everything's happening. First pitch to McEnroe-Marinas is high for ball 1. Also, Bama fans, be sure to catch the Hey Coach Show presented by Alpha Insurance, live from Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Tuscaloosa, Monday nights, 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time, right here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
Wait.
Well, hold on. The 1-0. Called strike, 1-1. No show tonight.
Whoa.
We're doing a little softball this evening.
Are we the show?
We are the show, correct.
I mean, if Deborah's here.
Yeah. But hey, Coach, we'll be back next Monday here on the network. The 1-1. That one is skied to deep left field, and we are tied up at 1 as McEnroe-Marinas sends that one over the scoreboard in left center.
Well, earlier wondered about the plan. I think Patty Gasso pulled Nelly Macaron-Marinas over and said, you are waiting for a changeup and you're going to hit it. And that's exactly what happened. The question was, where was it located? If it was elevated, then that's kind of the thing OU does. Macaron-Marinas, yep, on a tee.
Yeah, that's not.
That is exact. If you're hunting change, and that's the change you get, it's going to leave the yard.
Yeah.
Good piece of hitting by one of the best.
On the replay, looking at Caitlin Riley's face, she knew it as soon as she threw it. So that's not what I wanted to do with that one. And we're tied up at 1. But just a solo shot.
1. Good with it.
Sydney Barker steps in. The first pitch to her, little inside for ball 1. Barker's 0 for 1. She had a fly out her first time.
I mean, again, where OU kills you is the 2 walks before that and then the homer.
Right.
1 home run, 1 run, whatever.
1-0 is outside. 2 balls and no strikes, and that will quickly bring out Lance McMahon. Settle down Riley. Try to get out of this inning. Still tied up at 1.
And it is also the first time Oklahoma's responded this weekend. Now 26 of 53. And Caitlin Riley probably just needs a second to chat with Lance and Riley Valentine and just, take a breath. You're good. I mean, that literally just broke up the no-hitter.
Yeah.
So you've done everything you need to do. Trust your stuff. It's been good enough so far tonight.
The stat just put up by TV also. That's the first run scored by Oklahoma not in the 7th inning of this series.
That's insane to me.
Yeah. So Barker will set back in with a 2-0 count. After the meeting with Lance McMahon, that's in there for a called strike, 2-1.
She also just demolished that.
That was one of the longest home runs I've seen here.
It's not quite Allo or Tori Edwards, but here,
Goodness
it's
gracious.
up there.
The 2-1 fouled off at the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, it cleared the scoreboard
with ease.
Easily, yeah.
At first, I was like, oh, a fly. Oh, no.
Yeah.
That is. See some fan out there in the Brickyard who's got the softball.
So it didn't make it all the way to the street, which is a little surprising.
Could have.
The 2-2 is in the dirt, and the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now the payoff pitch to Barker. Change up high for ball 4.
Gotta get that change up back. That was such a really good pitch, keeping OU off balance in the first 3 innings for Caitlin Riley. Gotta get it back. That's been such a good weapon.
Elena Agbayani steps in, and the first pitch is a ground ball to Riley, who comes out of the circle to make a nice play down the first base line to get Agbayani and retire the side. But Oklahoma ties things up here in the 4th, but it could have been worse. Just a solo homer.
Yeah, I mean, again, if Oklahoma's going to answer, look, I watched a lot of Sooner softball this year. When they answer, it's typically resounding. That's just a run. You're still tied, and you've got a chance with the middle of the order coming up to try and answer right back yourself. For the first time this weekend, first response opportunity for the Tide coming up.
For Oklahoma, 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left to move to the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-1, Alabama, Oklahoma, here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We move to the bottom of the fourth inning. Alabama and Oklahoma tied up at 1. Due up for the tide here in the fourth. Valentine, Papillo, and Johnson, 5, 6, 7. Sam Landry back out for her fourth inning of work. And before we bring the fourth inning to you, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Sam Landry in the circle for Oklahoma has gone 3, given up 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. 43 pitches and 30 strikes thrown by Landry as Alabama, for just the second time this series, with an opportunity to respond.
Is that the second time?
Yeah. The bottom of the 7th in game 1. We didn't play a bottom of the 7th in game 2.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah.
So, my bad.
Yes.
Here's what I'll say. This has been the inning where Alabama has typically found it. The fourth inning has been Alabama's best scoring inning. But right now, this game is playing out a lot like game 1 offensively for the Tide. You've got Vandegrift and Hevlin with all 3 hits and a bunch of offers behind. So it's all about the people starting now, because we've already seen 3 and 4. Valentine, Papillo, and Johnson making the adjustment. Again, somebody's got to make the choice to sit change or just totally lay off the change and go after the hard stuff. And this is a great opportunity to try and grab that momentum right back, because that truly felt like for the first time in 2 days that Oklahoma actually had a jolt of energy in this series.
So Riley Valentine will be the batter. She's 0 for 1 with a ground out. First pitch is a called strike. Crimson Tide Sports Network coverage continues with Crimson Drive Thursday afternoons on all Crimson Tide Sports Network social media outlets. The 0-1. Bowed off. No balls and 2 strikes. Crimson Drive is live each Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time, so be sure to join host Roger Hoover for the latest on Alabama athletics. Speaking of Crimson Tide Sports Network social media outlets, that's where you can see the booth cam.
Ethan's here.
Presented by MLB The Show 25, available now. The 0-2, low and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We should play.
Yes?
I mean, later. We're busy right now.
Kind of busy right now.
But when's the softball video game coming out?
I would buy it. The 1-2. Valentine bloops this one, and that's going to fall just over the shortstop's head. Garcia made a diving attempt with her back completely to home plate, but Valentine was able to get it right over the head, and that's a leadoff single for the Bama catcher.
And I don't think Valentine was sitting change there, but she got one that was in the zone. With 2 strikes, you have to go after it. And the one she got was a little bit higher and kind of a little more floaty than some of the ones we've seen from Landry so far tonight. Got to think for Papillo here, this is a sacrifice situation. Try and get Valentine to second base.
Papillo's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. First pitch. And that gets away from the catcher. So that'll work even better.
I'd keep it on.
That might end up being a pass ball. But either way, Bama now has a runner in scoring position, an opportunity to answer back after OU tied things up in the top of the 4th.
Alabama 0 for 5 today, Risp.
The 1-0. Drops too low, 2 balls and no strikes.
Patrick Murphy now getting the crowd a little fired up. This building needs some juice. That Macaron Marinas home run took a little bit of air out.
Yeah, it did go down as a wild pitch. The 2-0. Papillo takes it low, 3 balls and no strikes, and Hicks will call timeout and go out and talk things over with Sam Landry. As the crowd gets up, it's time for a scoreboard update brought to you by the Out of the Box Podcast. Check out the latest episode of the Out of the Box Podcast, part of the Softball America Podcast Network. All the Softball America people are here.
Yeah. Except Brady.
Wherever you get your podcasts, give us a follow at Out of the Box _pod on the X. Like, subscribe, and share. I picture Brady in the basement right now churning out the bracketology.
Oh, yeah. With his child.
The 3-0 is a called strike, 3-1.
And by the way, a little update, we will record tomorrow, so new episode coming out Wednesday. We'll have Danielle Laurie on the show, and we'll also do the WrestleMania portion of Pick Swap.
Here we go.
The best day of Tom's life. I mean, you have many others.
Well, sure.
Birth of your children.
That was good, too. The 3-1 is just foul to the left of the third base bag, and the count moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I don't have any softball to report, but we are tracking the WNBA draft. Sarah Ashley Barker, Zay Green, Aaliyah Nye, all hoping to get picked tonight. We'll let you know if anybody does get selected. And no shock, Paige Beckers went first.
She's good.
Very good at the hoops.
Now the payoff pitch to Papillo. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Papillo strikes out for the second time today, and there's 1 gone here in the 4th.
That's a bummer because I'm pretty sure that drop ball was ball 4. Full count. Oh, yeah. That'll be ball 4, but that's that drop ball that Landry's shown most of the time this year. Haven't seen it a ton this weekend. Good time for it to get the K.
Lauren Johnson, the batter. She puts a bunt down, but it's foul. For strike 1, Lojo was hit by a pitch her first time. The 0-1. Johnson with the ground ball to third. McMorenas has it. Will throw to first. And taking off is Valentine. She'll be safe at third after Marina slicked her back. So you do have a productive out to move the runner to third, but there's now 2 away.
Yeah, good job running the bases by Riley Valentine there. Was off the bag enough to where she had plenty of time to get to third base. Now Patrick Murphy chatting with Salem Hawkins ahead of this very, very important AB. You do not want OU to get out of this and feel a little more energy with another Alabama runner left stranded at third in this game.
Bama had a runner on third in the first, but Audrey Vandegrift was stranded there. An opportunity here for Salem Hawkins to drive home her fellow Arizona native. First pitch. Called strike.
By the way, a lot of credit on that Papillo strikeout goes to Corey Hicks, who called time and chatted with Landry. That was a 3-0 count. The freshman showed some maturity right there, chatting with her elder pitcher.
The 0-1. Hawkins pops it up on the infield. Shortstop Garcia's underneath it. She'll make the catch for out number 3, and Alabama not able to answer back here in the 4th after the leadoff single by Riley Valentine.
Yeah, unfortunately, that unproductive out with Valentine at second base is the killer right there. And again, you're in a fight. We knew it would be a fight. It's Monday Night Softball. That's how it's going to go. Now you just got to keep doing what you've been doing. If you're Caitlin Riley, you're facing the bottom of the order. Keep it rolling.
For the Tide in the 4th, no runs on hit, no errors, and 1 left. We played 4, 1-1, Alabama, Oklahoma, here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The 5th inning is presented by Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is more than fast and more than signs. Request a free quote From Fast Signs, for all your business visibility needs, Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide softball. 1-1 Alabama and Oklahoma as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Alabama a run on 4 hits, 1 error, and 4 left. For OU, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. It's the bottom of the order due up for the Sooners here in the 5th. Dayton, Hicks, and Kaur against Caitlin Riley. Back out now for her 5th inning of work. About to throw her 55th pitch of the game, and the first pitch to Dayton is slapped foul for strike 1. Dayton's 0 for 1 with a ground out.
You just got to keep motoring right along. And for Caitlin Riley, these are very, very important outs right here. Again, Pickering looms. If somebody reaches, just got to keep working ahead, mixing speeds.
The 0-1. Outside 1-1.
And Larissa Pruitt has come into play right for Alabama.
That one just misses the touch low. 2 balls and 1 strike now on Dayton. The 2-1. Called strike, 2-2. Sun is almost completely set to our left. Dusk here in Tuscaloosa.
Beautiful evening.
2-2. Slap to second. Hevlin is there. The stop and the throw for out number 1.
Boy, good job by Callie settling herself there. There was a lot of activity on that play for whatever reason, but got there, waited, fielded beautifully. Good little throw to get the very speedy Dayton.
1 out now for the catcher, Corey Hicks. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. First pitch. Right there for a called strike. Grady, know the date?
Monday.
That is correct.
Okay. It's still April, isn't it?
Yes, also correct.
Getting
2 for
closer. 30 days, half September.
The 0-1 is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. It is April 14th.
Oh.
Day before tax day. So if you haven't done your taxes, hurry.
Hurry. Now we get it.
Okay, good. Good to hear. The 1-1. Fouled away. A ball and 2 strikes. And Alabama all-time on this date of April 14th is 14-3. Outscoring opponents 93-40. Tide swept doubleheaders over Ole Miss in 2001 and Kentucky in 2009 on this date. The 1-2 now to Hicks. Off speed and high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. In game 1 of that doubleheader win over the Wildcats, Kelsey Dunn tossed a no-hitter in a 2-1 victory.
She did that many times, no-hitters.
Yes, she did. The 2-2, fouled off again. Last time out on this date, last season, not a good day. Texas A&M put up the most runs ever allowed by the Tide in program history in a 17-6 win by the Aggies here in Tuscaloosa.
That was one of those, all right, who do you want to be moments? And Alabama said, we're going to be a World Series team.
2-2. Comes in too high, and the count moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now the payoff pitch to Hicks. Fouled off again. Barely got a piece on the end of the bat. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Another 3-2 on its way.
Oh, my.
Oh. Maybe a touch outside for ball 4.
Oh, man. Did he say it was low? I'm reading Andrew Stovall's lips on TV. They showed him.
Oh.
Maybe. Oh, boy.
That's been called a strike a lot today.
I don't know about that one. That's a tough one.
So walk issued to Hicks. And there'll be a pinch runner on first for the Sooners as Tia Malloy, the freshman, will come out to run.
Kiki's sister, freshman out of Woodinville, Washington. Very speedy pinch runner, 6 for 6, as all Malloys are. 6 for 6 in swipes is Tia.
And Hannah Core will be the batter. She struck out her first time.
Double play, question mark?
It'll be a great time for it. First pitch. is low for ball one. 1-1 Alabama-Oklahoma here with 1 out and a runner on first in the top of the 5th inning.
Well, unless you turn a double play, you're going to face the biggest moment of this game with Pickering on deck. And you know she's hungry after the way her last at-bat went.
The 1-0. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0. A little outside, 3 balls, no strikes.
Let's see. That's Lex Papilla at the end of a dugout. I'm just trying to see if anybody's warm, because I'd be considering a change if this is a 4-pitch walk.
3-0. Oh, there's a strike, 3-1.
Okay.
Here comes a 3-1. Right in there for a strike, and Riley battles back to fill up the count here, 3-2. All
right, this has got to be really good, whatever it is.
Payoff pitch to Core. 1 hopper to third. Ellis had double clutches because Malloy was going with the pitch, so no chance to turn the double play. Throws to first to get the out, and there's 2 away.
All right, and now you have a question. So the hit and run saves it from being a double play, but it leaves first base open. Do you even give Pickering a strike? Or also, you also have to think about this, because we've covered the Sooners a lot and we've watched a lot of their games. The last thing you want to do is challenge a Sooner batter and be like,
right,
all right, you convert, because they have many, many times, and Gabby Garcia is a very talented freshman on deck. This is a very tough call for Lance McMahon, Caitlin Riley, and Riley Valentine. I think the conversation is, if you were to pitch to her, what are you doing right now? Or what do you think in this scenario? Personally, weighing the pros and cons, I am putting Pickering on base.
Pickering is 0 for 2, reached on an error in the first and struck out in the third. So her on-base streak has already continued.
Let's see what the play is here.
It's not a straight intentional walk. First pitch to Pickering. Hard hit ball to second. Hevlin's there, made the stop in the throw. And Alabama does not put Pickering on, and it works out fine.
Gray's an idiot. Go to the next inning. Great job by Caitlin Riley. Beautifully done. And after all that, 1 pitch, 3rd out.
Go ahead and clip that. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-1 Alabama-Oklahoma here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. We're stretching in Tuscaloosa as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Alabama and Oklahoma tied up at 1. The 5th inning is presented by Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is more than fast and more than signs. Request a free quote from Fast Signs for all your business visibility needs. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide softball. Due up for Alabama here in the 5th inning. It'll be White, Vandegrift, and Hevlin, 9-1-2. Sam Landry back out for her 5th inning of work. Landry through 4 innings has given up 1 hit and 1 run, which is earned. She struck out 4. She has not walked a batter as of yet, and will throw her 58th pitch to start the 5th inning. Alabama got out of a jam in the top of the 5th. keep this game tied at 1, and now an opportunity to grab that lead back. Kristen White to lead things off. She lined out her first time back in the 3rd.
And again, this is one of those chaos inning potentials. If you're Alabama, especially if White's able to reach. She had that line out. It was a well-struck ball, just a little too soft.
First pitch, pulls back the bunt, takes it high for ball 1.
And if Landry throws you anything inside, again, if I'm Kristen White, I'm just looking at where Barker's aligned at first. She's behind the bag. I mean, the drag bunt is there if you get the chance. Landry's been mainly working away.
The 1-0. That is slapped to short. Charging in, the throw is not going to be in time from Garcia, and Kristen White beats it out. An infield hit to start things off here in the 5th.
Well, we always say it's that second hop, right? That's the hop that helps K-Dub. And Garcia does everything he can. Again, she's very good.
Yeah.
But she was playing a little deeper than I would have against Kristen White, and because of that, it was a long run. Couldn't get it before that second hop. And now opportunity abounds for Alabama. Speedy base runner and Vandegrift at the plate.
First pitch to Audrey Vandegrift. She pulls back the bunt. It's a little inside for ball 1. Vandegrift 2 for 2 on the day. A couple of singles, a stolen base, and a run scored.
And I say opportunity abounds. Emmerling is now back in for the first time tonight to catch. Has thrown out 2 base stealers, including 1 this weekend.
1-0. Bunted at and miss, and they throw back behind White at first. Oh, and now White's caught in a rundown between first and second, and Agbayani will apply the tag.
Is that a bunt and run that Vandegrift missed? Well, she missed the bunt, period.
Right.
So, yes. And that's where execution is so critical.
So the leadoff single is erased. There's 1 out now with nobody on, and a 1-1 count on Vandegrift. And that pitch is high and inside, 2-1.
Yeah, just unfortunate right there. Just a little too far off the bag.
Yeah. The 2-1. Vandegrift chops that one foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And when you're trying to cause the chaos on the base paths, if one aspect of it isn't executed,
Yeah.
it can go poorly quickly. The 2-2, low, 3-2. That being said, I wouldn't hesitate to have Audrey Vandegrift try that again next time. It's
Yeah.
just, you know,
When
sometimes.
does she miss a bunt?
Right. Sometimes it just doesn't work, even with the best. Now the payoff pitch to Vandegrift. Again fouled away. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Went after ball 4 there. I think that was more of a defensive swing than anything else. Patrick Murphy yelling, pass the bat, pass the bat. Vandegrift has been excellent at that here tonight.
Another 3-2 on its way from Landry. Vandegrift, oh, and what a snag by Landry in the circle on the 1 hop up the middle. And there's 2 away.
Oh boy, that is trouble. And Garcia read it very quickly, but man, this is just excellent PFP from Sam Landry, and had to reach for it as well. That was high degree of difficulty, beautifully defended by the Oklahoma pitcher.
So now 2 out, nobody on for Callie Hevlin. As a lone RBI on the day for Alabama on an RBI double back in the 3rd, 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch, low and in for ball 1. The 1-0. Swung on a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alabama out hitting Oklahoma 5-1. That 1 hit for OU, a gargantuan home run over the scoreboard by Nellie McEnroe-Marinas.
Alabama 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position tonight as well. That's the other key stat right now.
The 1-1. Right in there for a strike, 1 and 2. The 1-2 pitch. Evelyn 2 hops this one to third. McEnroe-Morenas makes a stop in the throw for out number 3 to retire the side, and Alabama makes an out on the base paths after leadoff single, and nothing doing for the Tide here in the 5th.
Yeah, bummer right there, because you really had a chance to generate something. You had all the right people up, but just a good defensive inning by Oklahoma. Credit to them for getting that pick play. Officially a caught stealing, but basically a pick play. And getting out Audrey Vandegrift on a really, really, really difficult play by Sam Landry in the circle.
For Alabama in the 5th, no runs on hit, no errors, nobody left. We played 5. It's 1-1, Alabama, Oklahoma, here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the top of the 6th inning. Alabama and Oklahoma tied at 1. 1 run on 5 hits, an error, and 4 left for Alabama. A run on 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left for Oklahoma. 2-3-4 due up for the Sooners here in the 6th. Garcia, Parker, and McEnroe-Morenas. It's Caitlin Riley back out now for her 6th inning of work.
This is the gut check inning right here for Caitlin Riley.
First pitch outside for ball 1.
Think about all the things, if you're Alabama, that are working against you here. You got the scary part of the Sooner order. You got the 6th inning, which has been a problem this year. Caitlin Riley's got to be at her best right now.
1-0. Fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike. It was announced during the last half inning that a 3-game total attendance here for this Oklahoma series, 12,898, wow. Setting a new attendance record for a 3-game series here at the Rhodes House. The 1-1 is low and in, 2 balls and 1 strike. It's been a super regional type atmosphere here all weekend.
Oh yeah. As you can tell if you've watched the booth cam, we've been standing a lot. It's postseason moves.
The 2-1 to Garcia. Fouled away. Into the Bama bullpen.
Brisky caught it.
Brisky with the catch.
On the fly. Hashtag athlete.
All the other Alabama pitchers have been warming up at different times throughout this game. 2-2. Change up high, and the count moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes now on Gabby Garcia.
You could see Riley shake the hand a little bit, held on to that changeup way too long. Easy take for Garcia.
Payoff pitch. Ground ball to third. Elsad sticks with it, makes a stop in the throw for out number 1. And that was not an easy play made by Brooke Elsad. Well done.
Yeah, that was on a rope, hit decently hard, but it's really just the elevation that makes that a tough play. Worried Elistad had pulled off it a bit, but like you said, stuck with it. Good job by Riley getting back into it with that out.
1 out now for Ella Parker, and the first pitch to her is a called strike. Parker's 0 for 2, struck out in the 1st inning, grounded out in the 4th.
Still a lot of pop in that bat.
The 0-1. Low and in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And we've seen mainly when Riley's gone rise, it's been off-speed rise. OU has seemingly been kind of hunting off speed, but Parker has been chasing up in the zone this weekend.
The 1-1. Too low, 2-1.
Basically what I'm saying is it's very hard to call pitches in this sport, especially against Oklahoma, when there are so many weapons who have so many capabilities.
2-1. A nice pitch on the outside corner, 2-2. The 2-2. Lines this one through for a base hit into right field. Pruitt will get it in, but a hard hit ball. Definitely the hardest that Parker has had here this weekend, and it's a 1-out single for the Sooners.
And that kind of played out exactly how I was thinking it might if Riley missed up. This is a changeup that's supposed to be a little higher in the zone, or a little lower in the zone, I should say, but just floats. And Parker's swing path was down. That's why it was a line drive, but that was very similar to the missed pitch that led to the home run earlier.
That was hit by Nellie McEnroe-Marinas, and she takes the first pitch here for a called strike. 1 for 2 at the ground out in the first and the home run over the scoreboard in the fourth.
And if you're going to give her another changeup, it better be in the dirt.
The 0-1 swung on and missed. Just blew it by her. No balls and 2 strikes. Riley looks in, and the 0-2 to McEnroe-Marinas. There's a changeup, and that one is skied to center. But right there to make the catch is Kristen White for out number 2.
Stop my heart.
Woo.
I mean, this is a changeup that's elevated. That's why McEnroe-Marinas swings, but the location is key. It's a little bit outside. That's more over the white. That's probably hitting barrel. It was off the end of the bat, and an out in center field caught by Kristen White. Whew.
Whew. Now 2 outs with the runner on first.
Everything's fine.
For Sydney Barker. How are you? I'm fine. First pitch. One hopper to short. Hawkins is there. The underhand throw to Hevlin at second. And Alabama gets through the 6th inning, keeping Oklahoma off the board.
Again, no matter what happens tonight, my main takeaway is I've watched Alabama grow up and learn the kind of team that they are. Everything that has gone wrong for you all year was aligned right there in the top of the 6th inning, and Caitlin Riley just got out of it even after giving up a base hit with 1 out. Really good job and really good grittiness by her in the circle. What a weekend for Caitlin Riley in this series.
For the Sooners in the 6th, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We head to the home half of the 6th inning, 1-1, Oklahoma and Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We move to the home half of the 6th inning. Alabama and Oklahoma tied up at 1. 2 up for the Crimson Tide here in the 6th. 3-4-5. Elistad, Dukeshire, and Ballantyne. Sam Landry back out for her 6th inning of work. She's gone 5 innings, 5 hits with a run, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. Her first pitch of the 6th inning will be her 71st of the ball game. Brooke Elistad will lead things off. She's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout.
One change in the field. Sydney Sanders now into play first base for Oklahoma.
First pitch to Brooke Elistad. Swung on a miss for strike 1.
I thought I heard something.
I did too.
That was odd.
Just the reaction of them showing Kalen DeBoer on the
Of course.
TV broadcast.
I've noticed they've cropped out Greg Byrne. That's not how you do it.
The 0-1 is low, 1 ball, 1 strike. course, the SC Network shows Alexis DeBoer's home run for Washington against Alabama.
Remember that? That was this year.
That happened.
Can you believe
Like,
that?
it wasn't that long ago.
No.
The 1-1. Elstad lifts this one to shallow left. That could be trouble, but charge again, and making the catch is Dayton for out number 1.
Elstad trying to make the adjustment on the changeup, but just a little bit too far under it. And that's a nice job reacting quickly by Abigail Dayton in left field to make that catch.
That brings up the first baseman, Abby Dukeshire. She's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a foul out. Yamity's trying to find a couple more hits here. First pitch. Dukeshire fouls that one back for strike 1.
Duke said, how about one?
Okay.
That was what the kids call the home run swing on the rise ball.
Got on time with it, but just a little bit under it. The 0-1. Low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good adjustment by Dukeshire, holding off on that changeup. That's the same exact pitch, maybe a little more up that she struck out on in the first inning.
The 1-1. Dukeshire swings and misses at the rise again, 1-2.
That's a snappy pitch by Landry right there. Just a lot of good up movement on that rise ball.
The 1-2 is to the backstop.
Did not hit her.
No, that was not where Emmerling wanted the ball, though,
No.
either. Wind continues to blow out to right field. Beautiful evening here in Tuscaloosa. They've seen the 3rd straight just classic softball game between Alabama and Oklahoma.
This is what this sport's all about, Tom.
2-2. Outside, and the count's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And isn't this always what happens when the Tide and the Sooners meet up? It's always pretty darn good.
Yeah. There's a reason why TV loves it.
Yeah. Saturday, Sunday, Monday? Yes, please. Boy, what's the pitch call here? Got to think it's back to the rise on the 3-2.
Payoff pitch to Dukeshire. Fouled away. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Went down, went with the drop. That's interesting. You know, again, Landry mostly drop entering this weekend. That's, again, the bread and butter, but we've only seen her kind of go to it on full counts.
Another 3-2 on its way. Dukeshire again reaches down, fouls this one off. About to see the 8th pitch of this at-bat. Quite the battle between Abby Dukeshire and Sam Landry.
That's ball 4. You got to take it.
Another 3-2. Dukeshire flies this one. That's going to fall for a base hit into shallow center field. Another one very similar to the Riley Valentine hit back in the 4th inning. Just got over Garcia's head, but Dukeshire jammed but muscled it over the shortstop there.
Yeah, finally got a rise ball she could do something with, and it's still, I mean, if I'm Monday morning quarterbacking, I'm like, Duke, maybe you just shouldn't swing at that because that was high and in, but it's the strength of Abby Dukeshire and the fact that that's what she was hunting. She was looking for that rise ball, and she was able to just get it past Garcia. Now you've got speed on base with Kinley Pate coming into pinch run, and a chance for Alabama right here.
Pulled Kinley Pate off of the carnival ride out in the outfield to come in and pinch run.
I was curious, the lights were on out there, and I was like,
Yeah.
We're playing a game, is that allowed? Maybe I turned that off, and they have.
Riley Valentine is the batter. She's 1 for 2. She singled in the 4th and grounded out in the 2nd. First pitch, fouled away for strike 1.
Oh boy, that might have been the one. That was Maybe my eye a little off. That looked like it was over the white. Jess, unfortunately, got on top of that one.
That one's low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Riley Valentine in her career at Alabama has had her share of big-time hits and big-time situations.
And mainly in the postseason. Well, this feels like postseason.
It has felt like a super regional all weekend. The 1-1. Valentine fouls that one off into the glove. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2.
Oh.
Valentine swings and misses at the change for out number 2.
I was wondering where the changeup was, and Landry said, here you go. That's about the 3rd time Alabama has just been way early on that changeup. And it's a great spot, too, so even if you kind of accidentally make contact, it's not going to do anything.
Now we'll bring up Larissa Pruitt getting her first at-bat. She came in as a defense replacement a couple innings ago. First pitch is a called strike.
Pruitt on the year hitting .298, 21 RBIs, 2 homers, a triple, 7 doubles, 31 runs scored. Pinch hitters have had, even though not officially a pinch hitter, have had success against OU in the past.
The 0-1, and that's going to be a soft liner caught by Agbayani at second for out number 3 to retire the side. So the 1-out single for Abby Dukeshire does not come around, and we stay tied up at 1 as we head to the 7th inning.
But I do have a scoreboard update before we go to the 7th inning. Sarah Ashley Barker has been drafted in the WNBA draft, taken in the first round, the 9th overall pick.
Wow.
What a job by Sarah Ashley Barker, and she is going to the LA Sparks. Congratulations to SA. Let's go to the 7th.
For the Tide in the 6th, no runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 6, 1-1, Alabama, Oklahoma here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from the airfield. We move to the 7th inning, 1-1, Alabama and Oklahoma. 2 up for the Sooners here in the 7th. Agbayani, Dayton, and Emmerling facing Caitlin Riley back out now for her 7th inning of work. Giving up just the 2 hits and the 1 run through 6 innings has Riley. I'll start off with Alana Agbayani. She's 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. Here comes the first pitch. This is inside for ball 1. Agbayani, the daughter of former New York Met Benny Agbayani. For you MLB fans.
MLB The Show.
25. That was in there. Oh, just misses. 2-0.
I think a little outside there from Riley on that drop. Pitch count up to 90 for Caitlin Riley. It's got to be pretty close to a season high. Had 82 in game 1.
2-0 is low, 3-0.
So everybody take a breath now. All is well.
The 3-0. Called strike, 3-1.
Yeah, previous season high is 94 against SIUE. This will be pitch 94 for Caitlin Riley right here on the 3-1.
The 3-1 pitch is in there for a called strike, and Riley battles back, filling up the count at 3-2. Payoff pitch. Line back up the middle, and that's going to get through for a base hit into center field, and White will get it in to keep Agbayani on first, but that's a leadoff single for Agbayani in Oklahoma, and for the first time since the first inning, OU has leadoff man on.
I think you got to think about it if you're Patrick Murphy. I think you know also what Abigail Dayton's about to do. You know, she's probably the most small ball-y player in this lineup. This should and probably will be a bunt.
0 for 2 on the day. Does square around to bunt and puts it down. It's a good one. Elstad makes a throw. Nice catch by Callie Hevlin to get the out. The sacrifice moves Agbayani to second, and there's one away.
It's a really good play by Brooke Elstad right there, because that had similar check to a few of the bunts Alabama laid down yesterday. And now we'll see if the Sooner bottom of the order, with some players who did not get the start, will cash in.
Isabella Emmerling is the batter. Her first at-bat of the day, and the first pitch is a called strike.
Emmerling on the year, batting .234, 22 of 94, 28 RBIs, 9 homers, 3 doubles. In this series is 0 for 4.
The 0-1. Ground ball, and that's going to get past Elstad at third. She'll knock it down. The runners now on the corners on the second hit of the inning for OU. Elstad almost made that stop. It would have been a tough play for her, even if she had made the stop. Might have kept the runner at second, but that would have been about it.
Now, what's the plan here for Patty Gasso? It'll be Maya Bland. We know that as a hitter. And, I mean, if I'm Coach Gasso, heck yeah, do it. And that draws Patrick Murphy and Lance McMahon, and I'm going to guess Jocelyn Brisky. But you know what? Let me really quickly, even though I'm already standing, give a big ovation to Caitlin Riley and what she did tonight and did all weekend. Excellent work, if that is indeed it for her. It also might have just been Murph saying, hey, bro, go talk to the outfielders, which she's doing right now.
Some of that, too. Yeah, Patrick Murphy and Lessa Mann talking with Caitlin Riley and the entire Alabama infield. Caleb Rowe talking to the outfield.
Well, remember, Alabama on first and thirds, they've had success kind of coaxing opposing offenses into running, and they've found ways to get those runners out. They've got, Ryan and I have talked about it, and I don't know the exact details, but you know, they've got what they call a first and third play. So we'll see if that's something that they conjure up right here.
So Maya Bland will be the batter. They're going to stick with Caitlin Riley here. Agbayani on third. Emmerling on first. First pitch to Bland.
Dude.
I have no idea where that missed. It's ball one.
It's bad time for the zone to shrink. Bland hitting .267 on the year, 8 of 30, 10 RBIs, 3 homers, 16 runs scored. Shake it off immediately. Patrick Murphy was not pleased.
The 1-0.
Yeah.
There's a strike. 1-1. Counts right. I'm not 100% sure the calls have been right.
That one, I wonder if Scott Mayer was like, okay.
Yeah, my bad. That was pitch 100 for Caitlin Riley.
Hashtag you right.
Infield playing in on the corners. The 1-1. Bland tried to put down a bunt. Missed. The count moves to 1-2.
Alabama was ready for that.
Yeah. Oklahoma has scored on a squeeze in this series. But not there. The 1-2 to Bland. Ooh, that came into that hitter. Definitely not what you were trying to do if you're Riley. That one ran too far inside. Now the bases are loaded with 1 out.
Murph asked Riley Valentine, did that hit her? Valentine nodded. So yeah, so this is the nightmare. You got bases loaded, Cassidy Pickering stepping in. Can Caitlin Riley Houdini one more time? This will be as tough as it can be, and is nope, no challenge. It was just Scott Maritone, Riley Valentine, come back here, please.
Cassidy Pickering is the batter. 0 for 3. She reached on error back in the first. Bases loaded, 1 out. 1-1, Alabama, Oklahoma as we play in the top of the 7th. First pitch to Pickering. Called strike.
It's got to be hardest moment of the season right now for Caitlin Riley.
The 0-1. Pickering fouls it off. No balls and 2 strikes.
Also got to remember, if there is something on the ground, get it to home. Valentine, foot on the plate, please. No miscues.
The 0-2. Chopper, Dukeshire has it. Will throw home and get the force out. At home.
Oh.
And we're still tied up at 1 now with 2 outs.
Well, Duke has not had a great game at first base, but this is a heck of a play. This is Duke being all of that basketball 6-foot height. Had to leap and get this, an amazing snare collision on the bases. So if there had been a throw at second, obstruction would have been called, but the throw home just in time. And man, buckle down, Caitlin Riley, you're almost there.
Bases loaded again with 2 outs now for Gabby Garcia. The first pitch is outside for ball 1. Garcia 0 for 3 with 3 ground outs.
Now, out of any bag.
The 1-0. Garcia with a 1-hopper back to Riley. She'll just throw home and get the out. And Alabama gets out of it. Oklahoma loads the bases with 1 out and does not score here in the top of the 7th. The crowd to their feet, as they should be.
Let's end this thing. That is unbelievable from Caitlin Riley. Unbelievable. What a night. And you know what? Great call by Patrick Murphy sticking with her. Let's do this.
We head to the bottom of the 7th inning, tied up at 1, Alabama and Oklahoma here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Alabama and Oklahoma tied up at 1. Bottom of the order due up for the Tide here in the 7th. Johnson, Hawkins, and White. Sam Landry back out for the bottom of the 7th. Alabama got out of a bases-loaded jam in the top of the 7th inning to keep this game tied and give them a chance to walk it off with a single run here in the bottom of the 7th.
And all the heartbreak you felt this year. This is a chance, man, to truly turn it all around. And to do it in this moment against a top 5 team at home, you've written the script better than you possibly could have imagined. And now you just got to take it a pitch at a time and, frankly, ride the wave. Because as great as Saturday was, yesterday it was energetic, this is by far the most energy I've felt at Rhodes Stadium in probably 4 years. Take advantage.
They just put on TV. Alabama looking for their first series victory over a top 2 team in the nation since 2016.
That was before me.
Lauren Johnson will be the batter. She's 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch. First pitch low and inside for ball 1. And trying to give Oklahoma their first back-to-back losses since May of 2024.
My gosh. Guess that was the Oklahoma State series last year. Maybe Texas? No, Oklahoma State.
The 1-0. Johnson with a blooper to right field, but underneath it to make the catch is Pickering for out number 1.
Man, Johnson got exactly what she wanted. Ugh. Didn't miss this by much.
And Patrick Murphy going to go with a pinch hitter here for Salem Hawkins. A pinch hitter against
Oklahoma?
Oklahoma?
What? Oh, if Patrick Murphy wants to look like a genius, that'd be cool with me.
That would be a great time.
It's Kennedy Marceau, 12 of 35 on the year, 9 RBIs, 2 homers, 2 doubles, 8 runs scored. Did strike out against Landry in game 1. We'll see what she learned in that one-plate appearance.
Big opportunity for the freshman from Kaplan, Louisiana. First pitch. Line to right. Oh, my goodness. I was getting line to first. Sanders makes the catch for out number 2. Line drive from Marceau. Can't hit it much harder than that, but unfortunately right at the first baseman.
Yeah, this is a shot by Marceau. Got exactly what she wanted again, but that defensive shift, bringing Sanders back in. She's so good at first base. Great catch to get the second out.
Now Kristen White will be the batter. 2 out, nobody on. The first pitch misses outside for ball 1. White 1 for 2, a line out in the 3rd and a single in the 5th.
If White can reach.
Yeah.
So many things can happen with Vandegrift waiting on deck.
1-0. Ooh, slapped at and missed. Ball bounced away from Emmerling behind the plate, but 1 ball, 1 strike.
Also, I don't know if this is a jinx or not. Alabama hasn't played an extra inning game yet this year.
Oh,
So
that's true.
let's keep that trend up. I'm cool with it.
The 1-1. Little outside, 2-1. That's the other thing about that Montana Fouts shutout. That was in 8 innings.
That was. Still crazy.
Just nuts.
We can ask Nicole about it.
Oh, ouch.
No, she was in the game.
I know, the 2-1. It was swung on and missed, 2-2.
If you'll remember, Nicole Mendez is the reason why it went to extras. She made that diving catch on Mara Schroeder
Right.
on what would have ended the ball game. Just set the table for Caroline Hardy in the 8th.
Mm-hmm. We won't talk about game 2.
No. What game 2?
Right. What are you talking about? The 2-2 pitch. White with a chopper to second. Abayani has it, and a quick throw to first. We'll get White, and we will head to extra innings as Alabama goes down in order here in the 7th. First time today, second time there was a hit in the 5th inning when it happened, but Alabama only sends 3 to the bat.
We thought it'd be easy? No. But I'll say this. If you can get out of the 8th inning, you're going to have the top of the order due up in the home half.
Right.
So 1 out at a time. You can do this, Caitlin Riley. She's coming back out. At this point, I think it's her game.
No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left for the Tide in the 7th. We head to the 8th, 1-1, Alabama-Oklahoma here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Parker is the batter here in the top of the 8th inning. 1-1, Alabama and Oklahoma in extras. 3-1 is the count now on Parker. And that is a ground ball, and that's going to get through for a base hit past both Dukeshire and Hevlin on the right side of the infield, and that's the second hit of the ball game for Ella Parker.
Boy, that's a carbon copy of the Vandergriff hit earlier because, again, you can see on that play, Hevlin just a slight hesitation thinking Dukeshire's going to get that, and because of that, couldn't get there in time. Lead off on for the Sooners here in extras.
Which will bring up Nellie McEnroe-Marinas, 1 for 3 with a solo homer. The first pitch misses outside for ball 1. It is Caitlin Riley back out in her 8th inning. The 1-0. Inside 2-0.
Got to be really careful, man.
The 2-0. That one's lifted in foul ground, right-hand side. It will fall foul. 2-1.
Although, what a ball game.
Yeah.
I mean, man, Monday Night Softball, this is as good as it gets.
The 2-1. Chopper, that will be foul down at third baseline, 2-2.
And, you know, you remember 23 Monday Night Softball. I believe it was 11 innings, the game against Arkansas, and that was that epic Montana Fouts, Shanice Dels battle on a Monday night. And I believe that was also 1-1 at the end of regulation.
Now the 2-2 to McEnroe-Marinas. Fouled away. We'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Please just do that, but in play.
Two-two. Misses outside, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's got to be an excellent pitch. I'm thinking drop in.
And the payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got her to chase the drop. Didn't get too far inside, but got the chase, and there's one away.
Look, if it's not going to be in, it's got to fall off the table hard. Boy, McEnroe-Marinas probably wants that one back. But that's a big-time pitch by Caitlin Riley right there. Can't take a breath. Got to work through this inning.
We'll bring up Sydney Sanders, her first at-bat of the day. And the first pitch, grounded foul for strike 1.
Arizona State transfer, hitting .307 on the year, 27 of 88, 27 RBIs, 9 home runs, 5 doubles, 22 runs scored, and is 0 for 4 here this weekend.
The 0-1.
Good take.
A little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's a really good take by Sanders. That's a lot of experience right there.
1 out, runner on first. 1-1 here in the 8th. The 1-1 pitch. Right in there for a strike 1 and 2. The 1-2. Line foul. Past Patty Gasso at third base coaching box. We'll do it again, 1 and 2.
And these head coaches, I remain amazed for the people in the coaching boxes. Anything hit their direction. That was just a casual lean from Patty Gasso. I mean, she's seen it all. And she was like, I'm good.
Another 1-2. Change up high, 2 and 2.
I'm all right with it. Change the eye level. Not supposed to be a strike. That's a setup pitch. Probably going back with the drop. It's all about the location here.
2-2. High again, and the count's full, 3 and 2.
All right, double the setup.
Payoff. Sanders skies this one to left. Vandegrift is underneath it. She'll make the catch for out number 2.
Nice. Boy, Caitlin Riley living on the edge right now with some of these counts. 3 3-ball counts here in the 8th inning. And twice she's fallen behind 2-0, once 3-0.
Elena Agbayani is the batter, 1 for 3 with a single. First pitch. Called strike. Gets ahead this time, 0-1.
There you go. Boy, what in the world are we going to talk about this week on the Out of the Box podcast?
The 0-1. Oh, went too far around. Tried to check her swing, 0-2.
Danielle Laurie, we might be recording in the next couple hours at this rate. This needs to be out of his zone.
The 0-2. Bounces in, 1-2.
That is a very, very, very important block by Caitlin Riley, or by Riley Valentine, excuse me. Hard drop in, had to stay in front. Parker's got good speed. If that squirts away, she's taken off. Good stop.
1-2. Ooh.
Scott.
Just missed, maybe a little low, 2-2.
Let's see, it's that off speed. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, a little low.
Little out.
2-2.
Dude.
Guess that was outside 2, and the count's full 3-2.
Patrick Murphy's like, where did it miss? And then he rolled his eyes.
And the payoff. Ground ball that's going to get through, and avoiding the ball was the base runner, Parker. So now runners are on first and second with 2 outs. And the crowd letting Scott Mayer hear it.
I'd love to see that 3-2 again as Caitlin Riley comes out to talk with Lance McMahon. Or I should say Lance comes out to talk to Caitlin, but Caitlin was saying,
Yeah,
come here.
Right, let me.
Gee whiz.
So Agbayani gets her second hit of the ball game. Runners are now on first and second with 2 outs. Abigail Dayton is the batter, who's 0 for 2, laid down the sacrifice her last time up in the 7th. Oklahoma, as we play now here in the 8th
Careful,
inning.
Lance.
Lance is
Be careful, Lance.
saying a couple of
Because,
choice words.
you know,
I know you're technically not supposed to.
you're
but
not supposed to. I'm cool with Scott Mayer giving him a sec there. If you eject either pitching coach or either head coach in the 8th inning of this epic game,
I mean, come on.
we're having words, man.
We've seen some poor officiating. That would be the worst.
All right.
Abigail Dayton is the batter. First pitch. Called strike. It's taken 8 innings, but Oklahoma has now matched Alabama's hit total. Both teams with 6. The 0-1. Oh, right there, called strike, 0-2.
That is so pretty. It's that off speed. It floats, man. It's so good. And now you've got the full arsenal at the ready on the 0-2.
The 0-2. Dayton slices this one foul. Moving in, no balls, 2 strikes.
When I say full arsenal, I do not mean drop that hangs up a little bit.
Don't want that.
Dayton was late on that swing. Riley got a little bailed out there.
The 0-2. Ground ball to second. Hevlin's there to make the stop and the throw. And Oklahoma puts 2 on base here in the 8th, but cannot get anybody home. And we're still tied up at 1.
So you remember all week the comparisons we've drawn, Tom, to what series? Super Regionals last year against Tennessee.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Good Lord, I hope this is not all that similar. And Lance is having a couple more words with Scott Mayer. Hopefully they're calm words because Alabama's got the top of the order due up. This is the moment right here. Let's go.
And affiliates, we will be taking an extra network break here. Extra network break coming up as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-1 Oklahoma, Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Extra innings here on Monday Night Softball. We're still tied up at 1. Oklahoma and Alabama, top of the order, due up for the Tide here in the 8th. Vandegrift, Hevlin, and Elistad. Sam Landry back out for her 8th inning of work, as we've seen two pitchers just nails all day here today.
This is the best part of the sport. This is what makes it great. Now if you're Alabama, this is what you want.
First pitch to Audrey Vandegrift. That one's lined to left. That one's back and gone! Audrey Vandegrift with a walk-off solo homer here in the bottom of the 8th, and the Crimson Tide lead wins it 2-1. On the first pitch of the bottom of the 8th inning, Vandegrift goes to Oppo, gets over the left field fence, and the Crimson Tide walks it off 2-1.
All that heartache all year for this, I'll take it. Holy crap.
Watch out.
That is amazing stuff.
Audrey Vandegrift only hits home runs against top 10 teams.
It's true. All 4 of her home runs this year have come against top 10 teams this season. Aggressive in the count. Sam Landry attacking with a screwball that misses. This is right over the plate. And a great job by Vandegrift getting right through it. You counted Alabama out this year? Seriously? Have you not learned?
Oh.
This is what you do. You take advantage of the moment and you rise to the occasion. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And you know what? Vandegrift, the hero, none of this happens without Caitlin Riley being a boss tonight. A boss. Especially that bases loaded situation in the 7th. What a night, and what a showcase for Alabama against a team who's been the standard for the last half decade.
Yeah.
That's why it means a lot, because OU has been the standard. And you just took out what they do best, and you did to them what they do to you. Wow, what a night.
In game 1 of the series, Alabama got Oklahoma. But in game 2 and 3, Alabama does it to OU.
And did you see it? That's Alabama's first walk-off since 2024 Supers at Tennessee.
Man.
The parallels are uncanny, man. And what I love about this is we're in the regular season, man.
Yeah.
We're not going to OKC next week. Instead, we got a battle with Florida. We got more, and then we have the postseason. And after lots of wondering and lots of games where you didn't get it done,
right,
you executed, you did, and now you're ready for the stage.
Your senior in the circle, Caitlin Riley, the complete game victory. Your freshman, give her the All-American status now.
Yep.
As Audrey Vandegrift today goes 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, and a walk-off homer in the first extra inning game of the year for the Crimson Tide. And it wins the series against OU. Just the second series Alabama has won this year, but man, does it set things up for the trajectory to do nothing but go sky high after this weekend.
And this was a rebuttal to the ignorance. This was a statement to the conference. This is a statement to the country. Nothing else on tonight softball-wise. Everybody was watching this. And they watched Caitlin Riley do that, and they watched Audrey Vandegrift and Callie Hevlin do that tonight. I am so daggum proud. I mean, man, what a ball game. And SEC Network, you're welcome. What a night. My gosh.
With the win, Alabama improves to 30-16 overall, 7-8 in conference play. Oklahoma falls to 36-5, 10-5 in the conference. 2 runs on 7 hits, an error, and 5 left for Alabama. 1 run on 6 hits, no errors, and 9 left for Oklahoma. Caitlin Riley, the complete game, 8 innings. She gets the win. She's now 10-1. Sam Landry takes a loss at 13-3. Gray, the only thing I have left to say about it, had them all the way. Never in doubt.
Oh, indeed.
We'll be back with the post-game report right after this here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Out for free at the App Store and Google Play. Celebratory Alabama softball post-game report as the Crimson Tide gets the 2-1 win. Walk-off action.
Man.
A walk-off homer by Audrey Vandegrift and a complete game pitched by Caitlin Riley against the number 2 team in the nation. Alabama gets their first series victory over a top 2 team since Florida in 2016. As the Crimson Tide wins it 2-1 and wins the series 2-1.
Where do I start?
Oh, my
Honestly,
gosh.
I mean, what a night. There are so many heroes in this game, but at the same time, there are 3 in particular that you want to cite. That's a really good team that Alabama just beat twice this weekend. I'm not going to say anything derogatory about Oklahoma because Sam Landry, I have my questions coming into this year. No, even though she took the loss tonight. That is an SEC ace. But Alabama showed that they might have a couple themselves.
Yeah.
Brisky yesterday, Caitlin Riley through 2 days. Jill Skatarzak in SEC office, that's your SEC pitcher of the week right there. Caitlin Riley, what she did tonight. I am just so impressed. I am so impressed because they literally flipped the script that has been the story this season.
Yeah.
against the team that you do not do that to.
Yep.
That's why this is impressive. It means a lot. What a job by the Crimson Tide here tonight to pull that off.
And there are a lot of heroes in this game, but there's also a lot of people that just did their job.
That's right.
You had Alabama only committed the one error in this game, and it did not result in anything happening.
Didn't hurt you.
That was, the situational pitching was so great by Caitlin Riley the entire ball game, and the defense just would not allow Oklahoma to score that second run. You heard it in the highlights just there. The Oklahoma had the bases loaded grade in the seventh inning with one out.
They had Oklahoma today was 0 for 2 with the bases loaded, 2 for 15 with runners on. Oklahoma had 15 at-bats with runners on base today. Do you know how terrifying that is? And how many times was it Pickering, Parker, McEnroe, Marinas?
It was the right people for Oklahoma.
Oh, my gosh. Everything that could go wrong was there.
Yeah.
And Alabama refused. Caitlin Riley refused. And to your point, you're exactly right. A lot of people did their jobs and made plus plays when it counted. Like I said earlier, Abby Dukeshire, this is probably one of her weaker games defensively at first base overall, but she had the play of the night in the seventh inning with that chopper that she had to leap for and then the throw home just in time to get the runner on the force. That was the difference.
Yeah.
A lot of people did their job and made the plus plays when it mattered. That's what you have to do to beat elite teams. That's what you do when you are an elite team. And Alabama's showing they're getting closer. They're getting a lot closer to that status.
Alabama softball is brought to you by Barkley GMC, the best place to buy a vehicle in Tuscaloosa, and proud sponsors of Crimson Tide. Visit barkleygmc.com today. Barkley makes it easy. Gray, that read is usually the pitching change read. Didn't need it today.
I mean, where is it? Caitlin Riley this year, one complete game.
Right.
Was it Washington opening weekend? I believe it was.
I said it was it SIUE when she had the...
That was the pitch count, but remember, she had the perfect game and then got pulled.
Yeah.
I believe the complete game, this is great radio,
Just good, sir.
was Washington.
Wow.
Washington opening weekend. Her career high in pitches, 132. Tonight, Tom, how many?
It was... Again, great radio. It was 136.
I'd found it before you did, but
well,
I wanted to let you have the moment.
I appreciate it.
I mean,
I was looking up another set.
Caitlin Riley, man.
Just.
Wow, this team, y'all. I feel so bad if you jumped off the bandwagon and didn't trust us and didn't trust the program. Have you not learned? We figure it out. Alabama finds a way.
Yeah.
Like, good gracious, how many times have we had the talk on the air? I've had Doc chats with Kayla Beaver. It'll happen.
Yep.
Tonight it happened. And, later on we'll discuss what's next because this was so cool. If you go to Gainesville and you don't perform, you don't keep it up, then it was for nothing.
Right. It was just a cool weekend.
Right.
Yep.
So we'll talk about that later. But tonight, you enjoy the fact that in the last 48 hours, Team 29 delivered their best performances of the year.
Here are the final stats from today's ball game. We'll start with Oklahoma as they fall to 36-5 overall, 10-5 in the conference. One run in the fourth inning, a run on 6 hits, no errors, and 9 left. Cassidy Pickering was 0 for 4. Gabby Garcia was 0 for 4. Ella Parker was 2 for 4. Nellie McEnroe-Marinas was 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. That was the solo homer in the fourth inning, the only run scored by the Sooners in this ball game. Sydney Barker was 0 for 2 with a walk. Sydney Sanders was 0 for 1. Ilana Agbayani was 2 for 4. Abigail Dayton was 0 for 3. Corey Hicks was 0 for 1 with a walk. Isabel Emmerling was 1 for 1. And Hannah Core was 0 for 2. In the circle, Sam Landry takes a loss. She's now 13-3. 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned, no walks, and 5 strikeouts, 96 pitches, and 66 strikes thrown by Landry.
And again, this game is epic for us because we're the Alabama radio crew. This game is a classic, not just because of Caitlin Riley, but because of Sam Landry.
Yeah.
Sam Landry, what a night for her. And I'm sure she wishes she had that pitch back. But if I'm Oklahoma, a lot of people were worried about Sooner pitching. And, everybody behind Landry, there are still questions there. But I am not questioning that ace. Sam Landry is the real deal, folks. And Alabama had to have their stars convert to get merely 2 runs off of her in a single game.
And reading that lineup for Oklahoma, starting off with the top two batters in that lineup, Cassidy Pickering and Gabby Garcia, both 0 for 4.
Yeah, that ends the hit streak for Cassidy Pickering. And, again, the amount of times where she was up with people on base.
Yeah.
I mean, man, just situational pitching out the wazoo. That's incredible.
For Alabama, they improved to 30-16 overall, 7-8 in the SEC. I think they're going to make the playoffs. Bama, 1 run in the third and 1 in the eighth for their 2 runs on 7 hits, 1 error, and 5 runners left on base. That one get you?
That was good.
Thank
That
you
was
for-
good.
Audrey Vandergriff, 3 for 4 on the day, an RBI and 2 runs scored, had the walk-off homer in the 8th inning. Callie Hevlin 1 for 3 with an RBI. Brooke Ellisad was 0 for 3. Abby Dukeshire 1 for 3. Riley Valentine was 1 for 3. Lexa Pilla was 0 for 2. Larissa Pruitt 0 for 1. Lauren Johnson 0 for 2. Salem Hawkins 0 for 2. Kennedy Marceau as a pinch hitter was 0 for 1. And Kristen White was 1 for 3. In the circle, Caitlin Riley, complete game victory. She is now 10-1 on the year. 8 innings, 6 hits, 1 run it was earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 136 pitches, 81 strikes thrown by Caitlin Riley. Made 1 mistake. Oklahoma took advantage of it, and that was about it.
Yeah, and, man, I mean, there are so many layers to this.
Yeah.
How many times in the last 4 innings or so did we look up and it was a 3-0 or 3-1 count?
Yeah.
Those, if I'm pitching against OU and I look up and it's 3-0 or 3-1, I'm like, uh-oh.
Yep.
And she kept getting out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, just the nails, the gutsiness.
I would suggest not doing that for the most part.
No. Yeah,
but-
I would agree.
But my goodness.
But, I mean, we're talking about a pitcher that certain websites questioned why Patrick Murphy even brought her here.
Yeah. No,
And,
that, I mean,
like, we saw flashes throughout the year. And tonight, we saw Caitlin Riley show that Alabama's, along with Brisky,
Right.
like, to do this against OU. And OU's statistical numbers are a little down offensively compared to the greatest senior class of all time, but it's still OU.
still dang good. Yeah.
Still really good.
And what? Yeah.
You're going to maybe face one more offense until the World Series that's as good or better.
Right. And, I mean, how many times did we say, either on these broadcasts or on the Out of the Box podcast, if Alabama can just get the pitching where it needs to be, watch out for the Tide. And hopefully this weekend we saw that switch flip for both Caitlin Riley and Jocelyn Brisky. Time of the game, 2 hours and 10 minutes, 4,098. We're here to see it. A total on the 3 days of 12,898, setting a new 3-game series record here at the Rhodes House. And Alabama made everybody go home happy with the walk-off victory here in game number 3, final score of 2-1. Just epic weekend. Great softball all the way around, and really after the way that the first 2 months of this season have gone, it was why you didn't give up on them.
That's right.
It's why you kind of go through some of the hard times because of weekends like this one.
And, again, we got to keep in mind when we say weekend, we mean the last 2 days. Also remember how game 1 ended.
Yeah,
You're 2
sure.
outs away. I mean, that if anything was like a snapshot of what you dealt with for the first 2 months in the big games.
Right.
And, again, to put it all together.
Ran up against every hurdle that you haven't been able to get over in certain other games.
Every storyline
Yeah.
where Alabama made the wrong move in the previous games, the right move happened tonight.
Yeah. And 22 innings were played. Alabama was the better team in 21 of them.
Yeah.
So I think you can take a lot out of this weekend, despite, you're really kicking yourself because you had a chance to sweep Oklahoma.
I know, and that's what's
Just
amazing.
It's amazing.
Like, we joke / analyze and talk all the time about how it feels like every Alabama series so far this year, all the options have been on the table. And,
Yeah.
again, Gray the idiot, we walk in and I say, I kind of think all the options are on the table minus an Alabama sweep. Wrong.
Yeah.
You were 2 outs away from doing that. And, man, just this team –
wow.
Patrick Murphy pushed the right buttons. This was also, before we get to Gray's final thought, because it's about the future, put some respect on Lance McMahon's name. Caitlin Riley threw the pitches, but Lance called them.
Yep.
And the game plan was executed perfectly. not just yesterday, backed it up today against a pitcher that Oklahoma had already seen. That is hard to do. Caitlin was excellent, but Lance called the series of his career at Alabama so far. Maybe up there with, guess what, Supers at Tennessee.
Right.
And Lance, Murph, Bro, Adam Arbor, the whole staff, Ryan I. Murray, they had this team ready, prepared, not just physically, strategically, schematically, emotionally. They were emotionally prepared to the point where that game one did not hurt them, did not break them. The culture came back and led Alabama to 2 great wins to cap off the series.
Alabama wins 2-1 here in game number 3 on a walk-off by Audrey Vandegrift. And a great atmosphere, and it was just a great overall 3 days between Alabama and Oklahoma. So, Gray, now we got to pack things up because we go to Florida in a couple of days. The quick turnaround Thursday, Friday, Saturday coming up against another top 10 team with the Gators in Gainesville. Your final thought as we get ready to go to Florida?
My final thought is, contrary to popular belief, this is not Alabama's Super Bowl. And they have to make sure that that mindset does not sneak in. Beating Oklahoma, doing what you did, following, frankly, the script of history against the Sooners, who are, again, very good team, that's all well and good. It is, according to Alabama softball in the state, April 14th.
Yes.
You have bigger goals. You have done what you needed to do this weekend to set yourself up to be successful moving forward against Florida, against Missouri, against South Carolina. This is not where you celebrate. You enjoy, you celebrate tonight,
Yeah.
but this isn't the peak.
24-hour rule.
This is the next step.
Yep.
And now you build, you continue, and you find a way to use everything that happened this weekend for the better. And don't rest on your laurels as if this is everything that you're going to accomplish this season. I don't think they will. Honestly, based on the response I saw from game 1, I don't think that's baked into this team at all. And if you jumped off, I am so sorry. We'll give you one more chance to get back on. You might as well. We always say enjoy the ride. I don't know what is coming down the pipe, but I learned a lot about this team this weekend and tonight, and I'm really, really excited to find out.
That's going to do it for this broadcast, the Bama Softball Post-Game Report. The Vice President and General Manager of the Crimson Tide Sports Network is Jim Carabin. Our studio engineer has been Hunter Stunkel. For Gray Robertson, Ethan Carabin, and everyone here at the Crimson Tide Sports Network, I'm Tom Canterbury saying thank you for joining us as Bama gets a 2-1 win in 8 innings over Oklahoma. Tune in again on Thursday when Alabama opens up a 3-game series at Florida. First pitch is set for 5 with a 4:45 airtime here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Until then, roll Tide from Tuscaloosa.